Hello everyone and welcome to a Spiel Essen 2023 list. I'm going to be going through around 20 games that I have deemed must see. Now some of these are games that I've already played that I can recommend to you. Some of these are ones that I must see at the event, I must demo that, and others are, well, I must have them in my suitcase when I'm coming home. Let's dive into the list and look at some hopefully banging games. So first on the list is Sunrise Lane. Now this is a Rainer Knizia title coming from Horrible Guild. So they used to be Horrible Games, but they have changed their name a few years ago. This is a game where you are going to be either on your turn gaining cards or discarding them to place buildings down, and you're trying to place them down in a variety of different ways, it seems. In some cases you're trying to gain height, in other times it's like how many blobs of your coloured buildings are together, and then I believe there's even like a region of the board that you're trying to sort of control. It reminds me a little bit of Skyrise, which I think was kickstarted, although not yet delivered, but it's got that sort of idea of trying to do something at the right time with these cards to put these buildings down, and those buildings then get points. And it's got a little bit of a Ticket to Ride thing of you go until someone's got 2 pieces left, and then that sort of ends and you count up points, etc. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I definitely want to give this one a go. Again, that is Sunrise Lane. Coming from publisher Q's Games, I'd not heard of them before, but Oh Hey Crosswalk is a game that I've not heard anyone really talking about. But it's this cool little 2-player abstract game that takes like 15 minutes apparently. You have sort of these discs that you're trying to get across the the crosswalk, sorry, the zebra crossing for, English people, and then you've got the opponent coming from the other side, but the different pieces have different rules. So for instance, the dog character, the pet, they can move through the opponents, whereas other ones can't. The child can only be moved once on your turn, but it will move forward 2 spaces. I think one of the other characters can only, I think it's the senior, can only move like 1 space each round. So you've got like three actions effectively on your turn. So it's like, what am I moving? What's then going to have to maybe fall back or whatever? It's an intriguing one, and I've not heard anyone else talking about this one. It looks like it's in a really small, super portable box. Relatively nice sort of, it looks very, to me, it looks very intriguing. It's got that sort of very grey and white, so it's quite crisp and clean, but with the coloured discs, it looks cool. And a very short 2-player abstract game. I'm very much up for giving this one a go, and that is Oh Hey Crosswalk. Now, I didn't jump into the Kickstarter for Sagrada Artisans, and that was mostly because it seems that while you did get some extra goodies with that, well, the postage and VAT costs, etc., meant that it wasn't really something that I wanted to jump in on. That doesn't mean I don't want to see it, and it's going to be at Essen Spiel, and I loved Sagrada. It's in my top 100. Go and see that video if you've not seen it, or videos. This is a legacy version, so you are working through this binder book here. Each time it's got a different stained glass, and it sounds like you're going to be unlocking things. It uses dice slightly differently because it sounds like you are colouring bits in. You're not placing the dice actually onto your page or your player board effectively. So it's a little bit different, but really enjoy Sagrada. I normally very much have enjoyed legacy games, so I want to see this one, and it might just have to come home in the suitcase as well. Now for one that I can very much recommend, and that is the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition. Now I've got this, I was part of the crowdfunding campaign, so I got pretty much everything, including like the neoprene mat and the castle minis, and then all of the other minis. Now I would say they are very much overkill, and in fact I would say more of the time we've played with this, we've actually just played with the nice acrylic tiles that I really rate those acrylic tiles. Really liking that, but with the castle minis. The production on it is ridiculous. You don't need this, but I would very much recommend going and trying it if you can demo this. And if you're a fan of Castles and Burgundy, well, this is... It's probably not going to get much better than this in terms of look. Like, look at that castle mini. It's just stunning. I might, if they have them available, get the acrylic tokens, which I missed out on because that was an add-on. Maybe I'll get that. I don't think I need it, but wow, what a game. That's the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition. Can recommend. Sashi and Sashi often have slightly quirky twists and cool games. They're not to everyone's taste, but they are at least interesting plays, and I want to therefore give this one a go, because this is, from what I can tell, a flip and roll and write. Yeah, it's an interesting one because it's got a load of cards, it's got dice, and then you're writing on, well, from what I can tell with this illustration, it looks like it's a pen with a rubber on it, so wipeable boards. That's a really, well, it says 4 boards, so it's not going to be just paper that you're using once and done. So the production, therefore, should feel a little bit nicer, and it's intriguing. A roll and flip and write. I've not seen that done before, and the board looks like, you know, you've got some good root building-y connection stuff going on where you're trying to, it looks like trying to maybe connect the different pink parts together or whatever, or I don't know too much about it, but from the sort of publisher, from the genre that it is, I like the twists that it's trying, so I want to give it a go. That's a must demo for me. That is Newsboys, if I didn't say it before. A quick one, Crokinole is apparently going to be at Spiel to demo. Now, I've never played it, and I've heard lots of great things. Now, I'm not going to be buying a Crokinole board over in Germany, because it would cost an arm and a leg to then get it back, and it's going to be really heavy, but I wouldn't mind giving this a go. Certainly, if I'm walking around the hall, this is the sort of game where it's like, oh yeah, I've got 10 minutes, let's give this one a go, because if I see it, I think I must try it. Because I've not had the opportunity before, and I've heard so many great things about Crokinole. Why not use this opportunity to play it, and then maybe later down the line I'll pick it up. Now, I'm not sure if Ticket to Ride Legacy Legends of the West is actually going to be at Spiel in English. As far as I can tell from the preview list on Board Game Geek, it's going to be there. But it's certainly only got the German language in sort of the brackets. Now, that doesn't always mean that it's only going to be in that language. It can do sometimes. I don't think it's one I want to go and play and demo, because I've seen from the Board Game Geek sort of reveal the first game of it, and I don't want to know any more than I already do, because I want to play this. I think if it's at the event, I might have to buy this one, because Ticket to Ride is definitely a favourite of ours, and a Legacy again. I just want to know how it works, how you unlock and build out that map of America, because it starts small from the back of the box. I know nothing more than that. It looks like there's puzzle pieces of a board to add to make it bigger, and that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I want to try this one, but I want to try it at home when we're playing it in a Legacy, like full-on Legacy experience, so must buy if it's available in English, but I don't know. A quick one, because in my first Spiel list, which has some other great games that I think you should check out, I said Cascadia Landmarks. At that time, it was only in German, but there is now also an English listing on the preview list. So it definitely sounds like AEG and Flat Out Games are going to be bringing Cascadia Landmarks with the with these extra bits, so these special landmark tiles, new scoring cards, and landmark meeple-y things. It sounds like it's going to be available in English at Spiel. Sign me right up. I want to play it, I want to buy it, because Cascadia is a great game. I like the sound of what they're going for here. So Cascadia Landmarks, and just a bit of a reminder. Once you've finished this video, there are some more picks from basically the first 500 games announced, whereas these are from the second 500 games announced. Yeah, there's that many at Spiel. An easy one for me. Carcassonne. Special big tiles. Sign me right up. I don't care if it's in German. I'll translate those rules because they're just cool looking tiles. This is a must buy for me. You'll know straight away. If you're a Carcassonne fan, you're probably going to be buying this because A, you'll get this. B, you'll get the special Spiel tile. I'm buying this. This is my guaranteed 100% buying it in the suitcase on the way home. Done, dusted. It's Carcassonne. I love it. But it's called Wonders of the Humanity. The Wonders of Humanity. It brings some cool wonders to life in Carcassonne. What more do you want? And surprise! There's a fourth micro-macro crime city. This one is called Showdown, and well, it basically looks all much like the other ones. You've got the cards that you're going to be working through. 120 cards split across 16 cases for this one. I think that's pretty much exactly in line with the previous ones. Now, what makes this one exciting is this plus the bonus box. Now, why am I excited about this? Well, the bonus box effectively sounds like it's going to be promo card sets for the first 3 and this new 4th box, so basically like an extra case or 2 in each. But there's also going to be multiple cases. Here we go. So there's 3 cases for the original, 2 for Full House, 2 for All In, 4 new ones for Showdown, and then there are 3 epic cases which cross all 4 maps. It's ridiculous that one map only just fits on a table. Hands down, I'm getting this though. Because, wow, we really do like the Micro-Macro Crime City sort of series. It's a shame that this is going to be like the last one, but I think they'll just go on and do a new series, but using this style, because it just makes sense. But hands down, the fact that there's going to be a new box, that's a win, plus extra content for all the previous boxes, that's a win, and then ones that go across all of them. Yeah, sign me right up. It's a must-have. The Crime City bonus box and the 4th box Showdown. Woohoo! Coming from Pretzel Games is, it was called Challengers 2, like a sequel, but it's Challengers Beach Cup. I think what they've done there is effectively gone, oh, this isn't a direct sequel, it's like you can buy both, merge them together, etc. I'm not going to lie, I looked at this, the original one, and I was like, okay, it looks kind of cool, I'm sort of interested, but the reviews coming out about the original Challengers and this one, everyone seems to be super positive about it, and therefore I must demo this one because it's got a lot of hype about it. And it's not just hype where it's like, oh, this looks really good. The reviews coming out are saying it's really good. So I really want to try Challengers Beach Cup. That's the new one that's going to be at Spiel this year. So want to give this one a go. It's a must demo for me. But let me know if you've played Challengers, what you think of it. Because again, I'm only hearing positive things. If you learn anything about me from my top 100, it's that I do enjoy some good dexterity games. And, well, one of them is called Mars Open Tabletop Golf that's in my top 100. But this one is Tabletop Golf Association. And it seems similar. So let's try and get to a good picture. You've got like this ball in a disc, so it keeps it sort of upright. And you are effectively flicking your way from the start to the finish, and you can make your own sort of maps out of these tiles. It sounds pretty damn awesome to me. I really want to give this one a go, and I could be potentially, this is the sort of one that I think I would bring home and would definitely have fun at like a more family game night. Could easily get this to the table, maybe with fewer players than when I want to get like pitch card to the table. So that is Table Golf Association. I mean, look at that mentally big map. I don't know if that's multiple maps put together or quite what, but I want to give this one a go because it just seems like some good dexterity flicking goodness. Next up is Zing-a-Zam. Now this for me is a game that's on the must play list because of the designer, and you will see a little bit from that designer, Adam Porter, on the channel in the next couple of days because I did a sort of a little interview about this game with him, and it looks really, well, bright, colourful, easy to teach trick-taking goodness, and that's one thing that's really very much in Adam's wheelhouse, is trick-taking games. So it's similar to his game Pakoko, where your hand of cards is facing away from you, but you will have one facing you. So you've got a little bit of information about what you're playing from your hand, but not much. But slowly, as you play your cards, maybe you're turning other ones around or skipping someone else's turn, and it's very simple trick-taking. You've got sort of 1 to 8, I believe it is, so do all of your opponents. And it's trying to get some information about what you're playing so you know when, oh, they've played an 8, I'll play this really low number. But if you maybe play the 1 if someone's played an 8, you can win the trick because it like loops back round in that exact scenario of a 1 being played when an 8's out. So it seems like a really quick to learn, quick to play, easy to learn trick-taking game, but with that spice of, I don't know what my cards are. Well, most of my cards are at the start, but maybe if I play my cards right, or play the one that I can see, hold on to the one that I can see because I know it's really good. A lot of cool choices and intrigue there. But yeah, like I said, Adam's going to be on the channel. I did a sort of a mini interviewy thing with him, so check that out in a couple of days' time. A lot of the games on this list, yeah, they've been quite lightweight, but I think Humanity breaks that trend to a certain factor because it's a worker placement game. So straight away, it's got a little bit more going about it, but it's also got these pretty cool little sort of worker meeple-y things. Let's try and get to a picture of the board. So you're actually going to be sort of like placing these tiles onto the board and then sending like those workers to the different places. I like that idea because it's, to me, it feels, I don't know if this is the case, but from what I can glean from Board Game Geek and from these pictures, that means a bit like in Lords of Waterdeep, when you've built those buildings around the edge, those worker placement spots are going to be different. Maybe they're not entirely different each game, but maybe the order they come out at least is different each game, and that can make a worker placement game feel very different. When the worker placement spots change or come out in a different order, I'm intrigued by this. That is Humanity, and as I say, it's not actually got a rating, but 90 minutes, it's probably sort of one of the more complicated games on this list. But I do think it's one that more people should check out because I don't think it's had a huge amount of buzz to it, despite it coming from Bombix as a publisher. Yes, there's not much more on Board Game Geek than this one image of 9 Tiles Extreme. Now, I kind of enjoyed 9 Tiles Panic, and I feel like this one is only going to sort of be along that line, but maybe a bit simpler to just get to the table and teach. With that, there's very much, right, so you've got to aim the agents towards the aliens, whereas this is just super quick pattern matching from what I can gather. And that just might mean that it maybe means that I can play it with different, or they're probably the same sort of people, but they'll just grasp it that bit quicker. You'll play it that little bit faster. I don't know. It's one that I think I want to play at Spiel, and maybe I'll come home with it. Or maybe I'll be like, well, I've got 9 Tiles Panic. I don't need this. I don't know, but if you've not played 9 Tiles Panic, I'd say give this one a go, because it seems, well, it sounds extreme, and it's colourful. So, worth a go, one way or another, but that is 9 Tiles Extreme. Come on now, you didn't think I would be making this list and not putting the Ark Nova expansion on it. Yeah, at the moment it suggests that it's only in German, which, that sucks a little bit, but I will definitely be trying to have a bit more of a look at this one because, well, it adds to what is already one of my favourite games. 2 new enclosure types for these new... that we're going back in time for images. Let's see if we can actually find some actual images. These look a bit more like it. So basically a range of new cards. It's got some cards with this new special symbol on. Here we go. There's the back of the box so we can actually see something. It's got meeples that are, so you're basically using those instead of just the normal ones. So the red player here, for instance, this is the ticket stub rather than the ticket stub and the whatever that track is with the little like university hat is. So yeah, I like that. That's a nice little upgrade, but this whole new sort of deck that gets shuffled in, that's going to add some coolness to it. And the new water thing where it refreshes extra of the market, which kind of helps because you've just made the deck bigger. But also there's this new coral thing where it's like if you've played, it's this symbol here. I think you can see the cursor there. It's this new coral symbol, which means once you've played that card, it triggers. But when you play another one with that symbol, they trigger again. So maybe an engine building extra thing you've got there. But again, you've got to think. Big deck of cards. The big thing, however, which I don't think is actually shown on this. It's kind of here. Everyone is going to be drafting these special action cards. So instead of your 5 normal action cards, maybe a couple of them are better. So maybe you can build just on water and rock. Maybe I can always place 2 animals or something like that. I love the idea that are going into this expansion. It sounds like they've listened. It sounds like they've sort of made some upgrades. And it sounds like I must have this. But I don't know if it's going to be in English at the event. This is one of those ones that I think I really want to try, and it's Stich for Stich. Now, it says it's multi-language, so it's not just that it's got the German title. It's got English on the back of the box, so hopefully it's got English rules as well. But it's a 3 to 4 player trick-taking game where someone is a murderer, and over the course of the trick-taking, you're going to be able to find out some information because the murderer's thing is what trumps are. So you can slowly work out who the murderer is, but also you'll gain information about sort of the items or something. I'm not 100% sure on how it works, but I want to really try this one because I wanted to like Inside Job, which was a trick-taking with deduction, and that one just fell flat for me. Maybe Stich for Stich doesn't, because it does sound very similar. It sounds like it should work in the same way Inside Job should have worked, but maybe this one just works that little bit better. Fingers crossed. For me, it's a must demo if I can find it at the event. And last but not least is Skyrockets Festivals of Fire. Now, this nearly went onto my just interested list, and it's kind of in that middle ground. My interested list, that's going to be coming probably next week, where I'll go through some more games from the latter 500 that have been announced, and just pick out a few other cool ones that you might enjoy. Maybe like Castles of Burgundy that I can recommend, so more on that, so subscribe for that one. But this game, Skyrockets, effectively it's based similar-ish on Kites, which was another game from Floodgate, where you've got these sand timers and you're trying to play the cards to make sure that they flip them at the right time. To me, this theme grabs me just that little bit more because you get that sort of brightness of colour. And the kites sounded like a cool idea, you know, keep the kites in the air. But fireworks, I mean, that's a cool theme, right? So I'm intrigued to see how it works, but it's 2 to 5 players, plays in 10 minutes, so it's one of those ones that can easily get to the table, and I pretty much want to try this one because I didn't get to try Kites but liked the sound of it. But Skyrockets, well, it sounds like it could skyrocket up in greatness, at least from the theme. It's a cool theme, great box art, it drew me in. drew me in. And that is the end of this part of the Essen Spiel preview list. There's 2 previous parts. There's one other must-have, one interested. This is the second must-have. There'll be one more interested. And then at the end, I'll go through and find my like top 10. There's like 1,000 games. So even from the like these sort of biggie list things, we're talking like the top 5%, the cream of the crop that I've managed to find. That top 10, well, that's going to be super hard for me to work out, basically. At the moment, I've got like 37 must-have games to see, and then quite a lot more interested in as well. But please do go and check out the other lists. Stay subscribed for the others, and until next time, have an amazing Spiel Essen 2023.